Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's cross country coach Brandon Spalding, women's cross country captain Kate McCreary, and women's soccer captain Addie Healy. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. The football team moved to 6-0 with a 21-17 victory at Randolph-Macon. Men's soccer stayed unbeaten in ODAC play with a 1-0 win over the Yellow Jackets, and women's soccer claimed a 3-2 triumph at Virginia Wesleyan. In a battle for first place in the conference, field hockey fell 2-1 in double overtime at Shenandoah. Volleyball won 3 matches in straight sets at the Warner Center, beating ODAC rivals Bridgewater and Eastern Mennonite, and then recording a non-conference win over William Peace. Men's swimming defeated Mary Washington. The women's team fell to the Eagles, but then won the ODAC relays at Cy Twombly Pool. At the Hollins Invitational, the riding team tied for 3rd place, and led by first place finisher Samantha Yates, women's cross country won the Southeast Regional Preview at Shenandoah, while the men came in 12th in a 32-team field at Oberlin. I'm joined now by men's cross country coach Brandon Spalding. Brandon, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. Great to be here.
In addition to the race at Oberlin, the Generals came in 8th in another large field at Geneseo. How pleased have you been with the team's performances in very competitive fields?
Well, you said it exactly. Looking at this season, we knew our schedule was going to be very competitive. It all started last year when we finished 2nd at the Gettysburg Invitational. We really felt like going into the 2015 season, we needed to challenge ourselves. And looking at the preseason national poll, there were 10 teams that were ranked in the top 35 to start the year that we saw at either Geneseo or Oberlin. And having those type of races on the schedule this year has really prepared us for championships. It's allowed some of our individuals to see some of the best guys in the country from a national level, and has allowed our first years to really focus on some competitive races. And this is the future of our program and the meets that we want to be in the future. So overall, I have been very pleased with the direction that we've headed. I was just thinking about how to put the spin on an 8th place finish, a 12th place finish, and how that is good for our program. But seeing the level of competition that we're going up against, we're competing well at the right point of the season.
W&L has a very talented first-year class. Your upperclassmen have turned in some great races throughout the course of the year. Tell us about the balance between youth and experience on the Generals roster.
Well, our upperclassmen have done a fantastic job just relaying our goals even throughout the first year's recruiting processes. And then over the summer, just those guys staying in contact with them and letting them know the direction that we really want to go this season. So really from day one, I haven't even looked at our first years as first years. I mean, they have been on board with the direction that we want to go, the goals and expectations that we have in our program. And I think the future is very bright for the 7 first years that we did bring in, and I think they have a lot to accomplish. And I've been very pleased with just the balance between the upperclassmen leadership and how the first years have blended in this year.
You've had several runners compete at the ODAC Championship course at Bridgewater as well as the regional venue at Shenandoah. How does that help W&L as you prepare for the postseason?
Well, it's been nice to see both courses. Going to a conference preview is a pretty usual thing for us in most years, but seeing the region course is actually a rare thing for us. Our region is Virginia down to Texas, so we can't always go to the pre-region, so it's nice that Shenandoah is the host this year. At both those races, we didn't run top guys, but top guys were able to see those races play out at the region course. We were able to do a workout with our top crew, so they know what to expect coming in, and I think it is beneficial that just everybody has been able to see the courses, and it's going to prepare us well for the ODAC Championships on the 31st and then running at regionals on the 14th.
What is the scouting report on the ODAC this year?
Well, looking at the ODAC, Bridgewater's the 2-time defending conference champ. There's a lot of good individuals in the ODAC right now, and we were picked 2nd in the preseason poll, and we really feel like we can fight for a top 2 spot. Our guys, since day one of the season, and really even since last year, I mean, they realize we haven't won a conference championship in 8 years, and we have an excellent opportunity to be in the mix this year. And Bridgewater's a strong program. They're running at home, which is only going to help them, but if we can get the help that we need up front, and our 4 and 5, we have a nice pack that's emerging right there. I think those guys are going to compete well and give us the best chance to be successful on the 31st. I'm really looking forward to it.
Brandon, thanks for joining us here. Good luck at the ODAC meet next week.
Thank you, Jeremy.
With me in the studio now is Kate McCreary, junior cross-country captain from Richmond. Kate, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Washington and Lee came in first at the Southeast Regional Preview at Shenandoah over the weekend. What does it mean to the team to win your final race of the regular season?
We are so excited to have won that race, and it really helped us maintain our confidence, especially going into the ODAC meet next weekend. And since that was on the regional course, and typically we don't get to see the regional course, I think that really helped just boost our confidence in general and help us set our sights past winning ODACs to regionals and how we're going to do, and hopefully to advance on to nationals.
The top three runners for W&L and at the meet were all underclassmen for the Generals. Samantha Yates, a first year, has led Washington in the lead all four of the full squad meets you participated in this year. How has the first year class been able to have such an impact right away?
The first years have been awesome. They really bought into our team policies and goals in the beginning of the season, and they worked really hard this summer. And they came into the preseason like completely ready to compete, and they've been really beneficial to our season. Sam and Maggie Siebold and Kirsten have all been in the top 5 for pretty much all of our meets, I think. And having them up there and just having them work hard and push through all the workouts at practice and just helping the team move forward has really helped our success.
The ODAC Championship is just over a week away. You've got the regional meet to follow in mid-November. Do you feel like the Generals are peaking at the right time?
Yeah, actually I think we are. We haven't peaked yet. I think that we're going to be peaking sometime around ODACs and regionals. We just finished the hardest workout of this season called the Willpower Workout a couple weeks ago, and the benefits from that won't really pay off until the postseason. But I think that winning at our last meet really showed that our hard work has been paying off, and I think that we'll be peaking right when we need to be.
You've got so many talented young runners. With that in mind, what can we expect from the W&L cross country team over the next few years?
Well, I'm really, really excited. I wish I was a freshman so that I could see where the team's going to go. I think that we're really going to excel, and we have our head in the right place. And as Coach Mike and Tim McCreary would say, our future's so bright, we got to wear shades.
Kate, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck to the Generals in the postseason.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Here with me now is Addie Healy, senior soccer captain from Waterford, Virginia. Addie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
W&L suffered a tough home loss to Shenandoah last week. How important was it for the team to bounce back with that road victory over Virginia Wesleyan?
It was really important for us to bounce back from our loss to Shenandoah. Obviously, losing to Shenandoah wasn't really in our plan for the season, but you know, things don't always go to plan, and it's about how you react and how you come back. And I think that our defeat of Alwez indicates that we've moved on and that we're ready to face any competition that comes our way.
Your career goalkeeping numbers include 57 starts and 26 shutouts and a .55 goals against average. What has made you and the W&L defense so effective over the last 4 years?
I have to attribute much of that to the team I've had in front of me. And while it's been a different team slightly every time, we have a system. We found a system that works for our team, works for me, which is really important. And another aspect now, being a senior keeper, I've worked with Ashley Hogan, my center back, for 3 years. And so we're kind of always on the same page. We really understand each other, know what to expect from each other. And that's a really helpful aspect, I think.
You're one of 3 goalkeepers on the Generals roster this year. Your fellow senior Shelby Hendricks is back for her 2nd year with the soccer team. Maggie Nolan, a first year, has joined the team as well. What's your relationship like with the other goalies?
We have really positive relationships across the board. But to start with Shelby, she's one of my best friends here, so that makes it a really positive thing. So I get to spend 3 hours with her every day, which is great, and she's kind of my go-to for advice in pretty much every realm of my life. So it's great having her there to encourage me and to push me on the field, and hopefully I do the same in return for her. And then Maggie is obviously new, but I think she's fit in seamlessly with the two of us, and I'm excited to see how she progresses over the years. She's already had a really great showing this season, and as far as my relationship goes with her, I'm kind of switching off between mentor and competitor because she's definitely it for us next year. She's it for the Generals next year, and so it's always preparing her, and so we were pushing each other in a very positive way, but it's great to have her here.
The road to the ODAC Championship could very well go through defending national champion Lynchburg again. Not to overlook a potential challenge earlier in the conference tournament, but what needs to happen for the Generals to take down the Hornets if you do get that shot?
Yeah, well, ultimately we just need to play our game, and whether that's against Lynchburg or any team we might face before Lynchburg or after Lynchburg, it's always the same. We need to play our game and think about what we're going to do coming in and not, what they're going to do. And I think the first time that we played Lynchburg, we had a great showing and the result was unfortunate, but we played so well, and I'm confident that if we get the chance to play Lynchburg again, that the result will be different.
Addie, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Young Alumni Weekend brings a full slate of action to Lexington, starting with 2 morning contests as field hockey meets Randolph-Macon and men's soccer faces Eastern Mennonite. Later in the day, football puts its unbeaten record on the line against Bridgewater, while women's soccer plays Randolph-Macon. Elsewhere, men's and women's swimming will take on the Yellow Jackets in Ashland, and volleyball travels to Lancaster, Pennsylvania for a tri-match against Washington College and host Franklin and Marshall. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.